This episode of Hak5 is brought to you by GoDaddy, Netflix, Squarespace, and Goose. Hello and welcome to Hak5. This is your weekly dose of technologists. I am Darren Kitchen.
I'm Matt Lestock.
And I'm Snubs.
Snubs? I thought she was Shannon Morse.
I thought so too.
I think we're just giving up on the whole...
I must.
You guys don't call me by my real name anymore. I've pretty much given up.
What you tune back to like the first 3 episodes and it was Shannon Morse, and now when you watch it, aside from the fact that it's standard def and looks like it was a composite cable dragged under a truck, you know, it's Shannon Morse.
Well, it was Shannon Morse, and then it was Shannon, and now it's Snubs. So soon it's just going to be
I'm Snubs.
All right. Hey, anyway, we have an awesome guest in studio with us. It is.
Well, he's not in studio with us.
Well, he's in studio with us via Skype from the Great White North.
Well, in studio insinuates that he's here, present.
Is this television not here? I'm not going to get into this with you right now. Anyway, it's Peter Giannoulis from theacademypro.com. Peter, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. How you guys doing?
Oh, not bad. How's that Rogers action treating you up there?
Oh, it's crap.
Is there better bandwidth?
You know what? Not for home. Not really. You know, you got Bell and Simpatico and all that good stuff, but they all pretty much do the same thing.
Yeah.
I can never say Simpatico.
Simpatico.
See, I fucked it up.
I learned it at CFH because in the control room, like it's all they ever said because they did MSN webcam stuff.
Ooh, yeah, buddy.
The funness.
Wow.
So yeah, Peter, man, you are the founder, the creator of the academypro.com, right?
Yes.
Now, how did that?
Well, I've founder, yes, lots of help on the creation part.
So so for those that aren't familiar with it, would it be proper for me to say it's kind of like the YouTube of security videos?
Yeah, kind of. Although we don't let people just upload stuff on the fly. That's pretty much the only difference.
So it's like YouTube, but without Matt getting kicked in the nuts.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it's YouTube with moderation.
Now, how did this come about?
About a couple of years ago, I've been a consultant for about a little over a decade, and a couple of years ago, you know, I thought of a way, you know, a better way. I've thought of a better way of actually giving out information to people for free to better configure their security technologies, be it their firewalls, IPS systems, you know, IDS, whatever it may be, and you know, that's how it was pretty much born. We kind of started with a crappy little Joomla template with a bunch of plugins and launched a website with 50, 60 videos on it, and it's grown from there to, I think, about 300 now.
So I take it, are you still in Joomla?
No.
Yeah, I thought it looked a little WordPressy to me.
Yeah, it's a little WordPressy.
Yeah, there we go.
Being in the security field, you really probably don't want to run Joomla when that's the target audience.
This is just like you dissing the Ubuntu crowd. I told you about this.
No.
You need to be nice to open source people.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me clarify this. When you're a web host and you see somebody that does not update their Joomla installation,
well, that's a different story.
And completely roots your box.
You could say the same thing about WordPress, because I had a WordPress 1.1 blog that, well. Anyway, so about the Academy, man. What kind of videos, what kind of subjects do you guys cover?
Anything from commercial products like, you know, Checkpoint, Firewall, SourceFire, to, you know, open source technology, penetration testing, you know, with Car Whisper, Nessus, and all, you know, all the great tools out there. Just a little bit of everything.
And you guys release like daily videos and tutorials and stuff. How do you keep up with that?
Basically, what we're doing this weekend, and is what we typically do every 6 to 7 weeks, is 5 or 6 guys sit together all weekend and, you know, basically create over 100 videos, which lasts us about 2 to 3 months, and we add the voice to them later on and kind of just put them out daily. That's pretty much it, man.
Wow, can you imagine doing? So you?
Well, hold on. How long are they?
Some are 3-4 minutes, some are 15. It all depends.
100 different episodes.
And not just that, he's got the Mubix waiting at Pearson for you to pick him up right now, right?
Yeah, actually, he just SMS'd me right now.
Okay, so he's on the tarmac. That's good. Dude,
Yeah.
God, I love Mubix. You're in good hands if Mubix is coming down, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but there's got to be like 100 other places to go and get kind of like this. Would you consider it security training?
Yeah, it's kind of, what we try to do with the videos is a lot of the times vendors tend to release hour or 2 hour long webinars that bore the crap out of everybody. No one wants to sit on those anymore. And they're not very technical. They're sales marketing information. What we wanted to do is basically take, what you want in a specific video. For example, if you want to know how to configure, network address translation on a checkpoint firewall, we'll make a 2-minute video on how to do that. If you want to know how to install a checkpoint firewall on 10 different platforms, we'll make that. If it takes 12 minutes, that's fine. So we kind of hone in on specific topics.
Yeah. So what would you consider like the special sauce that makes the Academy unique?
The special sauce. Well,
yeah, because you can go to YouTube and just Google for whatever security thing it is, and there's a 14-year-old that's going to teach you how to web crack.
Well, you know what? The problem is I'm all into those sexy web cracking videos, right? They're all nice and stuff. The problem is there's not enough vendor focus. For example, we all like Snort as is a great, open source IDS tool and so on, but not everybody can run those in their environments because they're not commercial tools. It's unfortunate, but
yeah,
that's just the way it is, right? So the thing is, we're bringing commercial tools to pretty much everybody for free, from a training perspective.
Very cool. Well, we will be keeping an eye on it. The website is theacademypro.com. You also have a new site, the Academy Home.
Yeah, theacademyhome.com. We launched it a couple weeks ago. It's for all pretty much that site came out of, I don't want my relatives calling me anymore for support. You guys all know what I'm talking about. So we launched that site and pretty much said, go over there. We'll teach you how to do that. So, and hopefully that one grows a little bigger as well. So it's been going good for the first couple of weeks.
Awesome. Well, Peter, thanks so much for joining us this evening. And I got to say, we are looking. We'll hit you up next time we're up in Toronto because you can buy us a Rickards Red, right?
I'll buy you a case of Rickards, man.
Nice. Yes. We got to drive because every time we go to Canada, man, it's like cases of Rickards in the trunk. That and Sleeman. All right. Thanks so much, Peter, man. Take care and good luck with the videos this weekend with Rob and everybody.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.
We pretty much, I think we're running a little long, so let's move some stuff to the D block and kick it over to Shannon now. See what's going on this week in our LAN party.
Sure.
Actually, this week we're not having a game, but this month we are.
Little lead time, I forgot about that. It's the whole time warp syndrome. What are we playing, Snubs?
We are playing 2 zombie games for you. Zombie Panic and Left 4 Dead. I know, I'm so excited. It's on February 28th, that's a Saturday, and you can play at either 2 of our servers. You can play at l4d.hak5.org, which is the Left 4 Dead one, duh, or zp.hak5.org for the Zombie Panic one. We know that only 4 or 8 players can actually get into Left 4 Dead at one time, so we're playing 2 games for you. Yay! And I also have to thank our sponsor, Netflix. With Netflix, you can rent over 90,000 titles online, including lots of Blu-ray titles, with free shipping both ways to your home. They got over 40 shipping centers, so almost all deliveries happen in just 1 business day. Netflix plans start at $4.99, and as a new member, you can get a no-risk 2-week free trial membership. Check it out at netflix.com/hak5, and please don't forget the wwws. Next up, I think Chris has got something to talk about, some USB device tracking. Chris, you're back, finally.
Back from the dead.
Dude, that's awesome. So USB device tracking. Does that mean you're gonna like stick a little device tracker inside of my USB as I'm stealing your data and I run away in my car?
No, not really. It already kind of does that for me.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, there's no homing device in there, but it leaves a fingerprint on your system.
It leaves a fingerprint?
Yeah,
okay.
Essentially a fingerprint. It kind of leaves like, hey, this is who I am. This is when I was here. This is what drive letter I used. And everything like that. So you can find out a lot of information. Yes.
So you have the registry pulled up.
I do. I have just regedit. I mean, there's a lot of there's better registrators out there, but I just use regedit when I'm quick and dirty. Quick and dirty. I know. So what we mainly do is I got this stuff from Harlan Carvey's book that he wrote in 2005, and was a really big help because I had to learn a lot of this stuff for my job. So one of the places that you can go to start, check at it, okay, where do I start here? What do I need to know? Well, you want to know the serial number, and then you want to use that serial number to find out all kinds of other information.
So do all of these different USB devices have different serial numbers, even if they're like from the same model brand?
Most of USB keys have a unique serial number. Sometimes they don't, and if they don't, the plug and play manager will assign a unique ID.
Unique number to it.
So,
oh, okay.
So in here, we're in the local machine entry. If you go to HKey local machine,
Okay.
we scroll down under software, and we'll have this in the show notes, all the different key paths, because it's kind of, it gets a little maddening when you're scrolling around sometimes. I start with current version underneath there, under Windows current version, and this will tell you kind of where your actual device path INF is, which has all of the different driver IDs for all the different generic USB, whatever Windows ships with, all the drivers that it has.
Okay.
So this is a good place to start. You can go in there and start writing down numbers and and looking for those numbers in here. One of the better places to start looking though, to actually find out what was plugged in, is under USB store under enum. And I'll have the full path. It'll probably actually scroll down right here. So. Underneath here, we can see that there's a Patriot device and then a USB flash memory, more generic, which is, the Patriot one is the blue one, and the other one is...
Is this the same one?
Yep, that's the one that I plugged into the VM. Here's the class GUID and the driver. See how they're the same number?
Yeah.
This is what it pulls from that INF. It says, okay, it says Windows, this is what you're going to use for a driver because it's just a USB device and being generic. Has a hardware ID, Patriot memory. There's a parent ID prefix, and if you go back over here, scroll this back over, this is the actual serial number that we're going to use to track everything through the registry.
Okay, so that's what I would write down.
This is what you would write down, and here's the other one. We would write this down too. And if we go now, and once we have these, we can go to another part, and once we have these written down, because you can't just search, you can search it, but it's a little easier to do it this way. We go under System, Current Control Set, Control, and then Device Classes. Now this has every single, kind of plug and play, everything that has ever been plugged into your computer, So we just kind of ran, I actually went and just opened them all up until I found which ones had, because there's about 6 or 7 of them that have different information about USB keys. These two right here are just what happen to have the serial numbers in them.
So, say somebody gets into my computer and I see this random USB device listed in here. Is there a way that I can see if they took data off my computer? Because my day job, we're all about security. That would be a very big breach.
It would be. There, in the registry, there is a way to actually determine when the last write time was to that device. Now, here's our Patriot device right here. If we open this up, we click on it, and if I scroll this over, you can see there's our serial number, right? So now we know that this entry right here has to do with that Patriot device. So if I right-click on this and I export it, right, as a text file, which I already did, and there it is.
Okay.
And we have it open right here. Let me open it up. So if we look in here, this exports data, and right in here you can see last write time, and it's in there twice, but it just has a lot of its extra data. 7:32 p.m. earlier today is when I actually plugged this thing in and did it before I came down here.
So it shows you date,
and you can
time.
actually use this to corroborate when you go into your recent documents folder under the documents and settings. You can see drive letters that are mapped to files that were recently opened, and you can go back in here and under mounted devices right here, I'll have this thing down at the bottom too, and you can say, okay, you can go in and figure out what drive letter was used with that recent doc. So that's a little bit more advanced, but that's one of the uses forensically that you can do. You see, okay, it was drive letter F. The last write time was 7:33 p.m. and we know that our schematics for some top secret missile was taken. So most likely it was that USB drive with that serial number. If you don't do forensics, there's a lot of other things that use this data. For instance, if you've ever heard of, I think it's called iHound. It's a phoning home kind of software. You install it on
like if somebody steals your iPod or something.
Yeah, iPod, iPhone, USB drives. And it actually pulls information out of the same places, and actually a lot more places too, because it identifies what your actual computer, the installation. It kind of and it takes all this data and uses that so that it can identify that device, phone home. Hey, this was plugged in from an IP address in wherever, Russia or something. So now you know that somebody in Russia has your iPhone.
That's cool. Well, I'm definitely going to check this out on my own computer, make sure nobody is stealing my data.
Exactly.
So where can I find more information like this? Where did you learn it?
I actually learned it from this book right here by Harlan Carvey. It's Windows Forensic Analysis, and I'm not like trying to sell it or anything, but this is just it's actually my boss's book, and it's been a very great help. I'm actually going to get a copy for myself because I'm starting to do more of this stuff, just in general. And there was also a paper that I Googled, written by a couple students at the Edith Cowan University, and they used a lot of the same. They used this book as a reference, and they put it in a very easily digestible format for me.
That's exactly what I need.
Yeah, that's why I was able to. Okay.
Something easy to understand.
Yeah. So that's where I learned it, and it's great knowledge to have.
Thank you very much, Chris. And I think we're going to shoot it over to Darren now for trivia.
That's right, last week's trivia question was, in PHP, which is faster and why? Echo Hello World or Print Hello World? That was correctly answered by Zoltan, who wrote that Echo is faster because it doesn't return a value. Now we've gone ahead and hooked him up with Pronobozo's awesome electronica album, 0 = 1 = everything. You've heard the music throughout the show and our bumpers and whatnot, so if you guys are interested in it, check it out at pronobozo.com. Now, for this week's trivia, you can go ahead and just find all the clues. You see them popping up here and there and everywhere, and you put them together, and that is a password that you go ahead and enter over at hak5.org/trivia. Go ahead and enter in to win your chance to win this week's trivia next week with the weeks and the trivia. That'll be fun. So, of course, I've got to thank our amazing sponsor for the whole trivia thing, and that would be GoDaddy. If you'd like to make an impact online, GoDaddy.com has what you need. .com names as low as $1.99 plus world-class hosting, fast and easy website builders, and much more. Plus, as a viewer of Hak5, you can get $5 off an order of $30 or more when you check out with code HAK2. So anyway, some restrictions apply. See the site for details and get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com. I'm going to kick it over to Matt now and see what's going on with the Router of Doom.
Back in, I believe, was it season 2? Correct me if I'm wrong. Season 2 that we did Smoothwall, and our Smoothwall has been going flawlessly for the last 2 years. I came across a basically Smoothwall on crack product that you guys might like. It's called PFsense, and basically it's built on FreeBSD. And it's a fork of the MonoWall project. Now, some of you use MonoWall, some of you don't. You can find out more about that, I believe, at monowall.org. You can go to pfsense.com to actually download a live CD installer or an embedded installer. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to set up PFsense. That's going to be this episode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to then go on and show you some of the more advanced stuff like OpenVPN and VPN site-to-sites, so on and so forth in future episodes. So let's dive in. What we're going to do is we're going to start our computer with the live CD that we've burned. Yes, I'm aware that I need to install the VMware tools. And what we're going to do is it's going to start up, and we have the option to install or just run PFsense from the live CD installation. Now, the nice thing about that is before you make any changes to an existing installation of, say, our Smoothwall, you can actually verify that the setup is going to work with your hardware, that it's going to work with your network infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. So what it's doing now is it's actually loading the live CD, and it's going to start up here, and there's a two-step process. First, we're going to set up in the shell, and then we're actually going to log in to PFsense from another computer to set up the wizard. So right now it's going to ask us if we want to set up VLANs. We have absolutely no purpose for VLANs here in our infrastructure, so we're going to go ahead and say no. Now, what we're going to do is, because I am in a VM, I actually have to disconnect our network adapters because what it's going to do is it's actually going to auto-detect, for those of you who don't know, your network interface names. I do, but for the sake of showing you, let's go ahead and do that now. So we're going to go ahead and select A, and it's going to ask us to connect the LAN interface. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect the LAN interface, which on ours is a virtual machine interface. So we're going to come back over here to PFsense, hit enter, and EM0 is changed to link state up. So that's our LAN interface. We're going to come back and say A. Now it's going to ask us for the WAN interface. So we're going to connect the WAN interface. Come back into PFsense and hit enter, and EM1 link state changed to up. So now you have the option to set an orange interface. We don't need an orange interface, so we're going to hit enter. And it's going to ask you to confirm your interface selection, EM0 being the LAN and EM1 being your WAN. Yes, we would like to proceed. So now it's actually done with its initial configuration, and it's going to actually start PFsense to the point where we can actually log into the web interface. Come on, come on. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over, and in another machine, we're going to open the internet. Now, for the sake of testing and showing you guys, I've already set up a static IP. The address for the local interface is defaulted to a 192.168.1 network. So I've already got, I think if I come down here, did I get another address? No, okay. So right here, we're going to go to 192.168.1.1. And we're going to enter in the password admin, or the username admin, and the password is PFsense by default. So here it's going to launch the setup wizard for PFsense. Yes, you're going to guide me through the process. You set your host name, your domain, your primary DNS server. I, myself, when I'm testing things, like to use a DNS server external of my local DNS server, just so that I know I have connectivity. So we're going to enter 4.2.2.2. Very easy to remember, 4.2.2.2. If you ever need to ping anything, that's what I suggest you use, because it's always up. So we're going to select our time zone and our server for time. We're going to set a static here because we're actually plugged into our existing internal network. So we're going to set a static address, and it's going to be 10.10.0.134. Now you guys would probably use your cable modems, static or DHCP information. Our subnet is a 24, and our gateway is 10.10.0.1. Come down here. Now these two settings down here block Bogon networks and block RFC 1918 networks. It's key if you're going to use PFsense in a router, behind a router configuration, because you need to uncheck the 1918, because otherwise it won't route correctly. Let's click next, and we're good with our LAN IP being 192.168.1. We're going to enter a password of Hak5 because we're very insecure like that. And we're going to reload the interface. Admin with a new password of Hak5. You come over here, and we are going to verify via the PFsense interface to see if we actually have connectivity or not. So let's go ahead and see that. Ping host is option number 7, and google.com. And would you look at that? We've actually got connectivity within, what was that, 5 minutes? It's very simple to set up. What I'm going to go into later are some of the more advanced options of IPsec VPN, OpenVPN, a lot of the services, virtual IP support, things of that nature. It's a very, very powerful platform for running a router. If you're using a Linksys now and you've got a machine laying around your house, I highly suggest you guys check out PFsense. It's got some great graphing with RRD tools, or RRD graphs, and just some really nice applications and platforms that really aren't available to you Linksys users unless you're running something like OpenWRT. But that's the segment. Go ahead and check it out, pfsense.com. And right now, we are going to end the show, finally. I know you guys, it's been a long time, but we're going to end the show. We're going to bring Darren back like only Hak5 can. You ready? Mystical, magical, clickety, doo-dah, hickamadoo.
Whoa, thank you, dude.
No problem.
Glad I taught you that trick, man.
Well, yeah,
I just wish that you could kind of learn the whole, like, nose twitchy dealy.
I can't do the whole bewitched action.
Uh-huh.
Or was that I Dream of Jeannie?
No, it was Bewitched.
Bewitched.
Samantha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm Darren. I know all about this stuff.
But I can bring you back with my ears.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah?
Really? Well, hold that thought, all right? We have a whole bunch of fun stuff that we need to entertain you with and enlighten you about.
Yeah.
But first, I got to give mad props and thanks to one of our sponsors. So let me tell you guys about Squarespace. I know I've told you in the past, Squarespace is an excellent content management system that has a very unique front-end, back-end system. They are a web host. Their plan started like $8, around that, at www.squarespace.com/. Just go there, and when you check out with coupon code HAK5, you can get 10% off the life of your order. So we're hooking you up, but let me show you one of the cool things you can do with Squarespace.
So what are we doing there?
So you can create blogs. Blogs is a lot of the big stuff that you can do with it, but you can create forums and lots of really rich websites. But one of the neat things is when you want to change the look of your thing, I don't know if you've ever tried to install themes and different kind of, we were talking Drupal earlier. This is real simple, right? So we're in just the regular mode. This is how you see your website, right? But since I've logged in here, I get the special toolbar at the top. I click this button right here, and I'm now in the style switching area. Now we've got this custom Hak5 theme for our LAN party that looks awesome, right? And it's all done with just dragging and dropping stuff, doing some custom CSS. But they've also got a whole ton of built-in themes, and you can just cycle through them by clicking any of these, and they've got a ton of them. We can actually switch templates here and find a different one.
You are having some real.
I'm not very good with the.
I
Okay,
got it.
yeah, but you can see they're like that one, or the newsroom looks pretty good, and you can actually
wow.
live see as you're picking them out, see what you like, get a feel for it. And the cool thing is once you've created one, you can clone it, you can dig deep, you can do the CSS. I've shown you how easy it is to create forums and file drops and all sorts of stuff with it. It's pretty drag and drop. It's really easy.
It's probably one of the most powerful platforms that I've seen in 10 years of hosting and developing websites.
Yeah, playing with the trial of the CS4 stuff that we've got right now, looking at Dreamweaver, I don't know. I don't want to learn all that.
I'm a code guy myself, but for a lot of people, for 95% of the people on the internet that just want a website and whatever to show off their hickamadoo thingamabob, Squarespace is the perfect option.
I'm actually using it for my, I've been playing around with the, I'm doing a web redesign for, the sysadmin job that I have.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, well, I decided I'd just go to Squarespace so that it would just be easier, because I don't have the time to.
Exactly. I mean, and time is so critical and so valuable nowadays. It's like,
if you want to play with open source stuff and learn some cool stuff, that's cool.
That's
by all
cool.
means, right? But if you just want to get something out there right now, check out squarespace.com. Use coupon code HAK5. It supports the show, and we love that.
Exactly.
Now, you want to talk about some code. I recently did a little coding on the show. Some PHP.
Horrible.
Hey, listen. All right. I never said I was a beautiful coder.
I was just
Probably could have done it better with an array, and that was so beautifully pointed out to me, as I'm sure the rest of the errors in my code will. Thank you. I didn't realize that curl was built into PHP with a module. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, but I still believe that the fundamentals of what I was showing, like the integration of like PHP and something like VLC with the HTTP interface on the back end, using it as your display mechanism, I hope you can find something from that. If in like 2 weeks from now you're like, dude, or like 2 months from now you're like, where's all the code on Hak5? You know why now.
It's like Ovaltine. Like, we'll put the milk and we'll put the Ovaltine in the milk glass, but we're not going to stir it for you. So you have to do a little work if you want good chocolate.
That was like the worst analogy I've ever heard on this show.
I don't know why Ovaltine just popped into my head.
I'm going to go with it, man. And you know what? If you are grandmaster coder and want to hit me up with some ideas and whatnot.
Get your Ovaltine out with Darren.
Or code.
He's the kitchen bitch.
Where's this coming from? All right, that's cool. That's cool. We do have some. Okay, let's GTFO.
We got a lot of shit to mention.
Yeah, you're right. We do.
Let's get. Come on, Darren, get on the ball.
ShmooCon,
yes.
Dude. We will be there. You're watching this right now on Wednesday, February 4th, because you're awesome and you subscribe to the RSS feed, so you get it automatically delivered to you. Oh, you didn't? Dude, go hak5.org on the homepage right there. Get your RSS feeds. Get the Hak5 on the iTunes and the HD. Bam!
HD.
Yeah, Miro, whatever you want, man.
If you're still watching us on HD.
Some of those Aussies. Actually, never mind. BitGravity is in Australia, so if you're downloading in Australia, you're not going across the pond.
Fast download rates from the
Fast
RSS.
download rates.
I will fucking destroy you.
I bet you
Fast download rates for the Aussies directly from BitGravity.
All right. So ShmooCon, we will be there on February 6th through the 8th. We are doing Podcasters Meetup. So head over to podcastersmeetup.com to find out how you can meet up with us up in District of Columbia, as well as SecureBit, Splitcast, Cyberspeak, Security Justice, a bunch of other
We are
security
doing
podcasters.
daily episodes.
Or
not.
weekly or something. We'll find out.
We're doing daily episodes from ShmooCon,
Uh-huh.
but not live episodes.
Yeah, something like that. Well, I got to talk to Brad, but yeah.
Brad who?
Brad, the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's also wanted to mention that you guys have heard of like the TED conference. We were
Yes.
just up in NYC talking to Jim about these. Totally stoked. The Bill conference, right? It's kind of like an unconference, if you will. It's a grassroots thing of just like
Do you have any
brilliant
idea
people.
why it's called the Bill Conference?
No, why is it?
Bill
Explain
and
to me.
Ted.
No, are you
Yeah,
kidding?
buddy.
For real?
I don't know. I just made that shit up.
Okay, because that sounds awesome.
isn't it
Bill and
awesome?
Ted. Anyway, they're bringing great minds together, and it's kind of like an unconference thing. It's going to be a big discussion, a bunch of stuff presented, and check it out. Revision 3 is broadcasting it live with the help of BitGravity, woo woo, right? So February 7th and 8th, same time we're at ShmooCon. Check it out at revision3.com/BIL.
Exactly. Want to let you guys know that we have the brand new Hak5 swag pack.
Hack packs.
Hack pack.
Yeah.
Service pack.
Service packs 1 through 3.
Basically, we've got different packages set aside for you guys that you can order new designs of stickers, the fail bus tickets, which we've had a blast giving out to random
Those are
people.
great at
We've actually
conferences.
given one out to an actual bus driver.
I'm going to give you one to you as soon as we're done here. Oh, yeah, we did give it to a bus driver. Got a kick out of it at CS.
Yeah, definitely. So head on over to hak5.org/stickers and get your new Technolust gear love on.
Yeah, and we appreciate all of your donations because it helps us figure out how to make audio work on the... That's another story. Anyway,
Yeah.
we much appreciate it. So what else is going on, man? We've got to mention that about the survey.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you guys know, we love you. We know who you are because you're up on the HakHouse. You're up in the Hak5 IRC. You're on the forums. You're talking to us all the time, right? And I would love to, but the thing is, like, the people, the powers that be and whatnot, don't really know you guys like we do. So if you could go over to revision3.com/Hak5survey and participate in this survey, give us a little idea about who you are and whatnot. It's going to help us make this show better for you and help us keep it going and whatnot. So we're conducting the survey. And we'd love to hear your feedback, so go ahead and just spend a few minutes at there and check it out, right? If you complete the survey, there's a little treat for you. Revision 3 has a new sneak peek of some show that they're building. I actually don't even know what it is. I forgot to ask Smack. But you can check that out, as well as a little behind-the-scenes look. I've been shooting, like...
A lot of behind-the-scenes look.
Darren's going to edit it down to a beautiful little... we'll see. I don't know about beautiful, but you'll see the craziness. The oh my God, somebody just ripped all of my hair off and replaced it with fire, and now we're going to do an episode. Speaking of which, Goose, I'm just saying.
What can I say?
Yeah. So so that's the survey, and I invite you guys to check that out. Are you talking about Mibit?
One last thing I want to let you guys know about is Hack Stalkers.
Oh yeah.
So okay, check it out. We've got the HakHouse here. But the guys in the HakHouse chat and people who watch us every day, 24/7, streaming from haksnax.com, have gone ahead and set up their own site called Hack Stalkers. And basically what it is where the stalkers become the stalked. They've set up a beautiful rip of our website. And you can actually embed your own Ustream.
It's a social network for video junkies.
Yes. And we're working with the guys over at Ustream to try and make the site a little bit more...
Awesomeness?
Not crash every browser on the
Try it
planet.
in Chrome, because if the tab crashes, you're all good.
Exactly. So check out hakstalkers.com. That's HAK stalkers.com.
We're heavy on the promo this ep, but this ep is heavy all about.
It's full of Technolust love, good info.
There you go. I like it. Although, where'd my blender go?
I was making margaritas last night. I forgot to wash it out.
Speaking of which, I need to do the margaritas with the salt, and the hash brownies with the...
These are not hash brownies.
No, when I say hash brownies, I mean I'm going to be making brownies and talk about hash salting. Hashes and then margaritas with the salting. Oh, and coming up after ShmooCon, Shannon and I tag team in. We're doing obfuscation of your OS and OS fingerprinting, so a little network mapping goodness.
A lot of people have been asking me when the VMware segments are coming back.
Soon.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
Cool.
Okay, I'm working on them. We've got some things we got to work out, but they are coming soon.
Yeah, this episode needs slim fast, so let's GTFO. Anyway, we're going to remind you guys, as always, trust your technolust.
No, I was not.
You
you paused.
What are you talking? There's a pause. There's always a pause.
But I thought you were going to kick it over because
What?
you got to talk all
If
the
I start
time.
to remember-
You got to talk all the time.
I never talk.
Look.
You
know what?
No. No. What? Matt. I'll give you like, here, I'm giving you $1 right now. Techno bucks on the table. $1.
Every time we fucking end the show, you gotta fucking make it about you.
It's not.
always about
It's
you,
not.
Jared.
I'm just trying to
It's
wrap the
fucking always about
Listen,
you.
I'm gonna have to edit this at the end of the night.
Well, tough That's your job. That's what you signed up for.
I didn't sign up for this. I didn't. What?
Well, let's cut this out right now.
Thank bitches.